Welcome to the Traditional Way Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Shumway. This podcast is brought to you by the Martial Arts Internet Network, where you can find all things martial arts related on our social media pages and on our website at www.mainternetwork.com, where you can catch up on all the open circuit sport karate news with Inside Scoop, catch a movie review with Fist, Kicks, and Flicks, or find out what's happening in the Jiu-Jitsu and MMA worlds on the Winner's Circle, plus all of our sport karate videos that we've acquired over the years from the tournaments. On this episode, I'm going to bring you the results from the African Championships that took place in Abuja, Nigeria on the 25th through the 27th of July. Now, this championship isn't a huge event in terms of numbers with only 392 entries from 30 countries, but it's always a highlight when it comes to Kumite, especially when Egypt is in the house. Their Kumite program is usually on full display at this event, and with one of the top programs in the world, from their cadets to the two number ones that were in attendance at this event, they're always a favorite to win. Additionally, this is the last qualifier event from the Continental Championships for the Senior World Championships that will be at the end of this year. With that, it's going to add some pressure to the top athletes to perform at their best. So let's take a look at the results from this event. Starting in the young girls minus 47 kilogram Kumite division, Janat Al-Kabari wins her first African title by decision in the final match. The world number 2, Habiba Issa, repeats as a champion of the minus 54 kilogram division, being awarded the decision in a 1-1 tied match in the final. In the minus 61 kilogram division, first-timer Jennifer Ihai Ozibu wins her final match by a score of 3-0 to secure her first WKF medal. Add another first-time athlete in Lamar Sweden, who won the over 61 kilogram division by decision. The young boys start off with Amen Ben Keda, repeating the minus 52 kilogram division as he beat his opponent in the final by a score of 3-1. In the minus 57 kilogram division, Ibrahim Seni burst into the division, winning for the first time out within the WKF, dominating the gold medal match 7-0. Another first-time athlete win in the minus 63 kilogram division as Senegal's Omar Diagne wins the gold medal match by a score of 4-1. Same story in the minus 70 kilogram division as Gamal El Hashmouni does the same thing, winning his gold by a score of 4-1. And in the last cadet Kumite division, Mohammed Sultan welcomes himself to the WKF by winning the gold in the over 70 kilogram division by a score of 6-0. Now, there are dominant performances, and there's what Hana Mustafa did at the African Championships on her first time out within the WKF. The closest anyone came to beating her was in the final, where Hana won that match by 3.6 points. No one came anywhere close to touching her on the way to her African title. The male kata division was a little more competitive as Anas Ali welcomed himself to the WKF with the Shotokan stylist walking through the bracket with not a lot of stress. In the final match, his Godashio show performance was enough to take the gold by 1.6 points. Well, the girls in the cadet division couldn't be happier as Malaka Fifi moves up to the juniors at this event, bringing with her streak where she has never missed a podium in her career. And the African Championships would be no different as she takes the final of the minus 48 kilogram division by a score of 3-0 to secure her first continental title. In the minus 53 kilogram division, Mame Faya returns to this event where she was shut out last year to top the podium, winning her first WKF medal by a score of 7-0 in the final. A great debut for Habiba Hassan in the minus 59 kilogram division, as she would only give up 1 point on her way to her African title. She won that final match by a score of 8-1. Yasmin Abuzid is now 2 out of 3 in the minus 66 kilogram division, as she won her first African title by Senshu in the final match, backing up the gold from the youth league that she took in February. And in the over 66 kilogram division, Jihan Bahaju improves on her bronze from last year in the minus 66 kilogram division and wins the final this year by a score of 4-3, securing her second career African title. The boys start off with Kalenga Kaniki making up for his first round loss last year at this event to top the podium in the minus 55 kilogram division, only giving up 1 point on his way to his first African title. Last year's cadet world champion, Muaz Mustafa, steps up into the junior age category and secures his first African title in the minus 61 kilogram division, winning that final match 4-0. In the minus 68 kilogram division, Arafat Guem makes up for his first round loss of last year to win the title this year as he takes the final match by a score of 2-0. Sirigne Ndongu remains perfect within the WKF as he secured his second African title in as many events, winning the final by Senshu to top the minus 76 kilogram podium. And lastly, the over 76 kilogram division saw Salahuddin Kubiti win his first ever WKF medal as he won the final by disqualification of his opponent for going over the allotted number of fouls in a match. Girls kata saw the debut of Ala Elshobagi, who walked through the division with her Shiraru katas, and her performance of Super Impe in the final was enough for her to secure the gold by 2 full points. Boys kata saw the Shotokan styling of Adam El-Lithi, who has been a great athlete in the Egyptian team in both the Youth League and Premier Leagues. He just steps up in the juniors for the first time and secures his second continental title as his performance of Unsu in the final secured the gold by 1 point. And it's no surprises in the cadet junior combined team kata division as Egypt swept both the male and female divisions, each of them taking the final by over 4 full points. No other country really had a shot as the Egyptian team at the Egyptian teams. They were just head and shoulders above the rest of the pack. The veterans start out with world number 8 Celia Oiken facing off against world number 14 Reem Salama in the final of the minus 50 kilogram division, where Celia would win that match 6-4 and secure her second African title within the division, her first since 2021. In the minus 55 kilogram division, world number 9 Alam Yusuf would top the podium at this event for the 4th time as she would win the final matchup 4-0. The world number 13 Norsen Ali would face off against the world number 12 Wafa Majoub in the final of the minus 61 kilogram division, where Majoub would finally break her streak of silver medals at this event to secure her first African title. An exciting final in the minus 68 kilogram division as Budiong Davina makes her veterans debut and would win her first continental title, taking the final match by a score of 9-7. And in the over 68 kilogram division, Mena Okila secures her third African title as she takes the final matchup by a score of 4-1. In the male Kumite divisions, we start off with world number 10 ranked Zayed Ali being taken out in the final of the minus 60 kilogram division by unranked fighter Mohamed Ayat by a score of 2-1, making this Ayat's first continental title. In the minus 67 kilogram division, world number 2 Syed Obaya gets knocked out in the semifinals by the veteran Ali El-Swawi, who has started to come back to his winning ways as of late. Ali would cruise into the final matchup where he would win that by Senshu to secure his 4th African title. No surprises here in the minus 75 kilogram division as the world number 1 Abdallah Abdulaziz claims his 6th African title, outscoring his opponents 34-11 en route to the top of the podium. Now, it's a little shocking that the world number 2 Yusuf Badawi was not present in the minus 84 kilogram division. But Egypt did have an answer, as the world number 30, Omar Osman, took his place at the event where he would claim his first African title, where he would win the final by a score of 6-5. And in the over 84 kilogram division, world number 1, Taha Mahmoud, would secure his 3rd African title, walking through his opponent in the final by the 8-point spread. In the female kata division, world number 24, Aya Hesham, finds herself back on top of the podium at the African Championships for the first time since 2021. She has made the podium in the last couple of years, but she has not won. This year was different because she knocked out Aya Enesri, the winner of this event for the past 3 years in the semifinals, to make it to the final, where her performance of Godashio Show would be good enough to secure the gold by a half point. In male kata, Mustafa El-Gobashi would surprise everyone as even though he's been very active within the WKF, he has not wielded a lot of results. He usually gets through a couple of rounds, but then loses prior to the medal rounds. Not this time, as he went through the bracket and found himself on top of the podium for the first time in his career, winning the final by 1.7 points. The veteran team's kata division were interesting, and I would have to declare that they were upsets, as these two divisions would be the only kata divisions that Egypt did not walk away with at this event. It was Morocco in both men's and women's teams defeating Egypt. The finals for both the male and female team Kumite were the same, as the small country of Cameroon would face off against Egypt, where the results would be the same as Egypt takes home both gold medals, shutting out the team from Cameroon in both divisions. As usual at the African Championships, Egypt absolutely dominated at this event, Let's start with the only kata divisions they lost were the veterans team kata divisions for both male and female. And they would also secure 24 golds at this event in total. Putting that into context, the next closest team only secured 5 golds. They would end up with a total of 36 medals out of the 41 divisions offered, which is more impressive because only 1 athlete per country was allowed in each division. So another way to say it is they only brought 5 athletes that didn't medal. Another thing that I saw at this championships that I really liked is that I love seeing the amount of athletes that lost in the first round last year and came back to claim a continental title this year. These are the stories that make this sport great for spectators, and these athletes can take a loss and come back stronger than ever. What makes it even more better for me is a lot of these athletes that did that this year, these championships are the only events they do within the WKF. So they only get, one shot to redeem themselves. It's huge when that happens. And I hope to see more stories like this in the future. And I think that is a great thing and a bright spot in our sport. And with that, I do want to thank you guys for tuning into another episode of The Traditional Way. Please join me next episode where I'll bring you the results from the Karate One Youth League event in Mexico. Until then, continue to support the Martial Arts Center Network by liking and sharing all of our content. Until next time, guys.